Hello, student. Uh, I welcome all of you. Myself, Professor Ashok Kumar, and I am working in Department of Mechanical Engineering at Dr. Subhash Technical Campus. Today's video lecture that we are going to discuss is especially on chapter number 9 from subject Basic Mechanical Engineering, in which the chapter 9 is given to you, and the title of this chapter is Air Compression. Basically, air compressor plays vital role in particular if we are talking not only in mechanical engineering, but every places, every streams, every fields, or in every locations where fluid required to compress. Either it may be starting from the vulcanization shock to industry where the fluid medium or fluid required to compress and pass from our home refrigerator to where like use and large power plant where the medium or gas medium required to be compressed. So such a numbers of places air compressor find its application. So it is very important as far as engineering concern. It's a very much essential and prime component in particularly mechanical engineering department. So first topic that we are going to discuss here is about an introduction of an air compressor. Look at the screen. The definition of an air compressor is like the machine which takes in air or any other gas at low pressure and compresses it to a high pressure are called as a compressor. That means any device or particular machines which suck air, not only air but any kind of gases at low pressure, compress it and delivered at high pressure is known as a compressor. Generally, in order to compress air or other gas medium or fluid, compressor need power. If power is supplied to compressor, then and then it will perform its works. So we can say that compressor is a power consuming machine which convert mechanical energy of an electric motor or any prime source into pressure head of air or gas. So this is the first characteristic, very much important characteristic of any compressor. It will be also known as a reverse heat engine. We know that in case of heat engine convert the heat energy into mechanical energy, whereas in case of particular air compressor, it will consume the mechanical energy and convert it into high pressure energy or pressure head energy. So this is little bit a reverse as that of the heat engine. And generally, as what I said earlier, compressor needs some power, input power, and that is power is supplied through either an electric motor or IC engine or even gas turbine. We can run compressor by supplying power or torque from these machines, motors, or engines. Now, after basic an introduction of air compressor, let's have the classification first. Basically, classification is generally made on most important and affected parameter to that particular component. So over here, classification of compressor is being made on the basis of most affected parameter. So let's start with the classification of compressor and classification A. That means it is classified according to method of compression. That means in which method particularly you are using for the compression of air or gas. According to that method, compressor can be classified in three subcategories. Number A, that is reciprocating compressor. Number B is rotary compressor, and third one is the centrifugal compressor. In case of reciprocating compressor, piston and cylinder assembly is being used to compress air or other working medium. In case of rotary compressor, there is a rotor and stator type or rotor and casing type of construction which is used for the compression of the working medium like air or other fluid or gas or vapor. In case of centrifugal compressor, there is a casing and impeller which compress the air or other working medium. So this is classification A, and it is strictly based on the method of compression. Classification B is based on delivery pressure. That means the intensity of pressure that is delivered at the end of compressor process. On the basis of that pressure intensity, we can classify the compressor in 4 subcategories. Low pressure compressor, that means the compressor which delivers up to 1.1 bar of delivery pressure of any gas or air medium, it will be a low pressure. Whereas in case of medium pressure compressor, it will deliver 1.1 to 8 bar pressure. In case of high pressure compressor, it will deliver pressure range between 8 to 10 bar, and very high pressure compressor deliver more than 10 bar of exit or delivery pressure. Classification number C is based on principle of operation. That means in which principle your compressor is being operated. Classification A is based on positive displacement compressor, and second one is the rotodynamic or steady flow compressor. In case of positive displacement compressor, it clearly means that it it gives the positive output. That means the component of such type of compressor, if move, of course, it will give little bit output as air delivery or other medium delivery. So in that manner, if you are taking an example of piston and cylinder or reciprocating compressor, it is the best example of positive displacement compressor, because whenever a piston inside the cylinder moves in either side, it will give a little bit or as per the stroke condition and the power that is consumed by the compressor, it gives the output in some quantity, or either it may be the air or other working medium. Whereas in case of rotodynamic or steady flow compressor, the best example of rotodynamic compressor is the centrifugal compressor, because it works on the rotodynamic principle. That means there is a impeller and casing is there, impeller rotates and simultaneously suck, create a low pressure vacuum inside the casing, and in that way it suck the low pressure air, compress it and deliver it at the end. So over here with the application of rotodynamic principle, the compressor can be classified based on rotodynamic or steady flow compressor. Classification number 4, that is based on numbers of stages, single stage compressor and multi-stage compressor. Over here, first of all, you should to understand what is actually stage. Stage means the pair of the impeller and casing, pair of the piston and cylinder, like that. So in case of single stage compressor, if you are using reciprocating compressor with only one assembly of piston and cylinder, it will give the pressure up to 5 bar. So that will be known as a single stage compressor. But if you are using multi-stage compressor, that means you are putting or arranging numbers of such a compressor in series or either in series or parallel, it will give more pressure, and pressure is more than about 5 bar pressure that is delivered in case of multi-stage compressor. So all that compressors are coming under the category of multi-stage compressor. After that classification based on numbers of stages, uh, number 6 classification is purely based on numbers of cylinder. That means whether you have a compressor and it contains only single piston and cylinder, it will be known as a single cylinder engine. But your compressor having the higher capacity as a delivery pressure, and it has the various numbers of piston and cylinder assembly arranged in either parallel or series, it will be known as a multi-cylinder. Then after classification, next classification is based on pressure limit. Over here, just focus upon pressure limit term. It actually indicates the pressure ratio. A pressure ratio, that means the ratio of the pressure of delivery side to the suction side. That will be generally known as a pressure ratio. Suppose you have a one compressor. This is the suction side and this is the delivery side, then whatever the pressure at the delivery side should be, if you are dividing with the suction side, that will be give us a pressure limit or pressure ratio. So based on the pressure ratio, compressor can be classified in three subcategories. Number one is fans. Fans gives the pressure ratio of 1 to 1.1. That clearly means that at the suction side, suppose there is a 1 bar pressure, so at the outlet or delivery side, fan gives just 1.1 bar as a delivery pressure. So this, if pressure ratio coming between this range 1 to 1.1, definitely it will be termed it as a fans. In case of pressure ratio, if between 1.1 to 2.5, then it will be known as a blower. And pressure ratio, if you are finding more than 2.5, then it will be typically known as a compressor. So in case of compressor, the pressure ratio is always being more than 2.5. It clearly means that it gives a minimum 2.5 times of the delivery pressure as compared to the suction pressure. Then after, based on volume of a delivered compressor can be classified on low capacity, and that means low capacity compressor have the volume flow rate up to 10 meter cube per minute. Medium capacity compressor, it gives us 10 meter cube per minute to 300 meter cube per minute of volume flow rate. And high capacity compressor, which generally gives more than 300 meter cube per minute of a flow rate of either gas or air. Then after, classification of compressor is made based on the fluid to be compressed. Number one, if air is a working medium and it is compressed, that it will be known as air compressor. If you are using gas to be compressed, then the compressor is known as a gas compressor. If vapor is to be compressed, then the concerned compressor is known as a vapor compressor. So this is what about the classification, and that is being made on different prime and affected parameters. After that, we are going to discuss one topic number 2, and that is application of compressed air. After introduction, its classification, working principle, now it's time to discuss the application. You should have the question in mind that where the compressed air should be used, except a few examples like to fill air in bike tubes, to fill air in balloons like. So there are numbers of applications where compressed air being used for various purposes. Starting from our home, in our home refrigerator, you have seen that there is a compressor. So over there, the compressor is used for the compressing of refrigerator, and then we are getting cooling system or cooling medium or cooling effect. So in home refrigerator or even commercial refrigerator too, we are using compressor to compress the refrigerant. Other application finds in industrial, that is the pneumatic tools, that means hand drill and some hand operated tools required high pressure air in order to operate tools for the performance of various kinds of operation. Of course, third application, it is very common to all automobile tires in which we are filling high pressure air. Fourth application finds in spray painting, that means you require to paint a wall or other floor or whatsoever with the high intensity of compressed air. Paint get mixed with it, and it will be very easy to paint with the high pressure air. Uh, in case of IC engine, you have listened about the term turbocharger. So in case of turbocharger, just we require to increase the suction pressure of air that is entering inside the piston and cylinder assembly, supercharger and turbocharger. So we require compressor air in particular IC engine too. Whereas in particular power plant, initially I have already discussed about that. In case of power plant, we require particularly gas turbine power plant where vapor need to compress again and again. So we need high capacity compressor in gas turbine power plant too. Uh, Compressed air is also find its application for the conveying materials like sand and concrete along a pipeline. In some structural building or the constructional work, it is often need material like sand and concrete to be sent to the construction site. So by using that high pressurized air, it will force and pressurize the sand and concrete materials to flow in pipeline. So it is the best application in constructional or civil structural work too. Particularly in sand blasting, we are using high compressed air in order to remove the some uneven material, and we want to require have the good surface finish. We are using high compressed air along with the short balls. We also require to use it in a blast furnace because combustion is needed in case of furnace. So for the compression, for the combustion process, high pressure air is required. Blast furnace in which air compressor or compressed air find its application, whereas last application is in air brake, generally used in truck and train, where for braking operation, in order to operate master piston and cylinder, which put the force on a shoe or a block, and ultimately it reduce the speed of vehicles. We need high pressurized air. So we use compressed air in air brake system of bus, truck, and train too. So this is the few very much important application wherein we are using compressed air. After that, it's time to discuss the basic types of compressor. Look at the screen. First and very important and common type of the compressor is a reciprocating air compressor. Look at the constructional detail. There is a cylinder and piston. There is an inlet valve given. Outlet or delivery valve is also given at the top surface, whereas piston is connected with connecting rod, and connecting rod simultaneously connected with crank. So crank is mounted over crankshaft. This crankshaft is driven by an electric motor. So whenever motor start, it will transmit power to crankshaft. Crankshaft further transmit its power to crank, and crank to connecting rod, and connecting rod to piston. So whenever a compressor is a reciprocating compressor is being start, it will start from the TDC and move in the downward direction. So over here, whenever it moves from TDC to BDC, that means top dead center to bottom dead center, volume of the cylinder above piston is going to be increased. So once volume is increased, the pressure inside it will be decreased, and there will be a vacuum is created. So due to that vacuum, due to that low pressure region created, whatever the air that is outside this reciprocating air compressor having little bit more pressure as compared to the pressure inside the piston and cylinder assembly, air will suck automatically inside it, inlet valve close and come over here. So in first stroke, we can say that this is the typically stroke of suction stroke, and in which particularly inlet valve is open, low pressure region is created, and atmospheric air suck inside the piston and cylinder assembly. Now, during reverse stroke or second stroke, piston try to move in upward direction. That means it will move from bottom dead center to top dead center. As piston moves, it compresses the sucked air which is inside the piston and cylinder assembly. So pressure of that air is gradually become increased, and due to that high pressure, first this inlet valve is closed, and still movement of the piston in upward direction, it cause air to flow in delivery pipe. So at that time, delivery valve opens, and whatever the high pressurized air which is present inside the piston and cylinder assembly move in delivery pipe to delivery valve. So this is very simple and sober working principle of reciprocating air compressor, as what we have already discussed earlier. Reciprocating air compressor have the known as also positive displacement pump, because it's the piston movement is a result into the air flow rate. So this is a simple reciprocating air compressor, its constructional detail and working principle. After that, there is a multi-stage reciprocating compressor. Name gives the meaning and working of that particular reciprocating compressor. If you are using more than one reciprocating compressor, then it will be known as a multi-stage reciprocating air compressor. Look at the diagram. This is a high pressure cylinder. That means over here there is a compressor which is producing high pressurized air. This is intermediate pressure cylinder or compressor. That means it produces moderate amount of pressurized air, and this is the low pressure reciprocating air compressor. All three compressor, reciprocating compressor are being connected with each other. So that means the high output or delivery from the uh, low pressure cylinder, it will move first in intercooler, then it will move inside the intermediate pressure reciprocating air compressor. Uh, from that IP cylinder or IP compressor, from the delivery side, it will move in intercooler number 2, and from the intercooler number 2, it will move in suction valve through high pressure cylinder or high pressure compressor. And from that outlet of high pressure cylinder, air will be delivered where it is to be used. But the question is that over here, if you are looking carefully, all three compressor are connected with two intercooler. The basic concept of introduction of intercooler in between the compressors is that it reduces the work required to operate the compressor. So ultimately it gives the high delivery pressure with lowest consumption of power from electric motor. So ultimately we can say that it gives the higher performance efficiency. Then after third and very much important types of compressor that we are going to discuss, that is the centrifugal compressor, and simply it works on the centrifugal force concept. Look at the diagram first. There is a casing. We can say that volute casing over here. Uh, in a particular volute casing, there is an impeller. Impeller is mounted over here inside the casing, and there is a numbers of blade which are arranged peripherically to this impeller. One end of the blade is connected directly with impeller ring, other end is connected with impeller hub, and all that entire assembly is mounted on a common shaft that is generally connected with an electric motor. So if you are rotating an electric motor, of course the shaft which joins this impeller will also get rotated, and in that way a compressor is rotating or compressor is running. Then after between impeller and casing, there is one more ring is provided with a few blades, and that is diffuser ring. And diffuser have numbers of the blades is arranged in outer periphery of it. And one end of that particular diffuser is one end of blade is connected with a diffuser, and other end is impeller ring. So this is what about an assembly that are in particular centrifugal compressor. Now look at this diagram. This is actually a cross-sectional view, and this is the front view. So over here, if you are looking carefully, then this is the inlet or suction pipe. Whenever you are rotating your compressor, ultimately the impeller along with its blade will get rotated. So whatever the air or other fluid, or we can say that the vapor or gas present inside the casing will be exhausted through outlet or delivery pipe. So over here there will be a vacuum creation, and there is a low pressure region to be set up over here. And due to that, uh, as what we have discussed in reciprocating compressor, same phenomena happens here in outside to this air compressor. There is a high pressure region inside of casing and impeller assembly. There will be a low pressure region. So due to that pressure difference, air will be automatically sucked inside in and enter inside the suction. So as you rotate more and more your impeller, the entire casing will be filled up with the particular gas or air, and it will be rotate. Its pressure will be increased because area of that particular casing with respect to impeller is going to be increased from the center inlet pipe to the outlet pipe. So pressure is going to be increased and increased. So at the end, it will be thrown out, air will be thrown out due to high pressure through delivery fan. So this is the simple and very easy to understand the working principle of centrifugal compressor. Now look at the bottom side diagram. You have given pressure versus velocity diagram. Look at first pressure diagram. As we know that there are two main components. One is impeller, another is diffuser ring. So particularly this diagram represents the intensity of pressure, particularly in impeller and diffuser ring. So as you know that as pressure in case of impeller, as air enters, pressure will be gradually increased. And after diffuser or after impeller, whenever air moves towards the diffuser, pressure is still increased up to some extent. So we can say that there are two steps of pressure increment here. When air enters suction pipe and it will move from suction pipe to first impeller, of course the pressure will be increased over here. And once air will move from impeller to diffuser ring, pressure is also still be increased. So over here two-step increment of pressure is there. Now if we are talking about the velocity, then think about the impeller and diffuser ring. From the figure or diagram, we can easily understand that in case of impeller, velocity is gradually increased along with pressure too. And once the air enters from impeller to diffuser, its velocity will be gradually decreased. So this is what the relation of pressure and velocity, particularly in impeller and diffuser ring. Now fourth type of compressor that we are going to discuss, that is the direct friction drive. Look at the diagram. You have given one horizontal axis air compressor, where is casing is generally made by converging shape like that. As you move, the shape of casing is in such a way that as you move in forward direction, the cross-sectional area will be going to be decreased. There is a one shaft over which there is a rotor is mounted, and casing, there are large numbers of blades which are mounted on casing and outer periphery of rotor or say shaft. So over here, there are two kinds of blades that we are using in case of direct friction drive compressor. One is fixed blade and one is rotating blade. Fixed blade are generally mounted on inner surface of casing of this type of compressor, whereas rotating blades are mounted on outer surface of rotor. So if you are supplying power and rotating that rotor along with that shaft, this rotating blades will also get rotated. So ultimately it creates vacuum nearby the spacing between fixed blade and the moving blade over here. So this low pressure regime or vacuum create suction of air from the outside, and air will suck inside the piston and inside the casing and rotor, and it will move in this direction. So once air move due to pressure difference and move towards the delivery side, its area is gradually to be decreased. In that way, if you are decreasing area, simultaneously pressure of air that is being sucked inside will be increased. So at the end, whatever the air present over here having the high pressure, and it will be delivered to where it is used. So this is direct friction drive. After that, number fifth type of compressor is the root blower type compressor. Look at the diagram. There is a one common casing in which particularly there are two lobe number one and lobe number two are mounted on particular their shaft. This is the inlet section and this is the outlet, or we can say that the delivery section. Now look at how it works. Both of the lobes are connected with the shaft, and shaft are driven by some prime or power source like an electric motor or turbine or other way. So once it rotates, rotor 1 and rotor 2, it will simply create suction over here. So due to that suction that is created over here, there is a low pressure region that is created inside the root blower pump, and atmospheric air automatically fit itself and enter inside this portion. So once the air is entered, just now need to discharge or deliver that efferent delivery air. So for that, for understanding well, look at the bottommost diagram. Air has been already entered or gas is already entered. Now look at the figure number B. By still more rotation of both of the lobe, it will force to suck air to come more and more inside the casing portion. Over here, look at the figure number C. A lobe has trapped sucked air inside the its casing, and still further rotation of lobe, it will directly give the delivery to the exit side. So this is the simple working of a root blower pump. You also given uh, pressure versus volume relation 1 to 2, that is the suction, that means that is performed over here. 2 to 3, that is the compression process, it may be possibly performed over here, and 3 to 4, that is the delivery pressure over here, delivery is being done. So this is the simple pressure and volume relation in case of a root blower. After that particular root blower, one more and similar kind of compressor is also being very famous, and that is the vent type of compressor. Look at its constructional detail. There is a one casing, and inside the casing there is a root blower which is mounted inside the casing, and root blower is further mounted on a shaft or transmission shaft. This is connected with an electric motor or gas turbine or other power source. Along with this peripheral surface of root blower at some angular interval, there is a slot is cut away. Particularly in slot, there is a vents which is connected with spring is moved inside and outside. That means this is vent which will move reciprocatingly inside that particular cutted slot, and it will going back because it is already connected with spring at the end. So this is simple construction, and let's see how particularly this vent type compressor is works. Look at the first diagram A and B. If you are rotating blower, it may possible that due to rotation of this shaft blower, or we can say that the rotor will rotate along with this vane that is mounted, it also rotate. So ultimately it creates little bit suction over here. This is actually low pressure region, and outside that inlet pipe or outside that vane blower, there is an pressure of atmospheric. So ultimately, as what happens in previous all type of compressor, due to pressure difference, air will suck inside this portion and trapped inside this. Further rotation of the rotor, all vanes or the whatever the air trapped in between these two vanes, it will move in forward direction. After few degree of rotation, these two vanes carry the air that is already trapped in between two vanes is moving forward direction. In that way, if you are rotating still more degree in terms of the power supplement, one time happened that the trapped air will comes very close near to delivery end. So over here. So once the both of the vane reach at the outlet pipe or delivery pipe of the compressor, there will be a space through which the trapped air will move outside the delivery valve or delivery pipe. So this is a very simple and very easy to understand the working principle of vent type, or we can say that root blower type compressor. Dear student, from this diagram, we may also see that this is the V1, that is the volume already sucked, and this is the volume V2 that is going to be delivered at the end of the delivery process. Generally, this type of compressor is being very used, very rarely used where the fluid is required to be compressed in small quantity, and continuous flow of compressed air or gas is not required. So dear student, this entire lecture, video lecture, we have covered an air compressor. We have started with an introduction of air compressor. After basic concept of that air compressor, we have also classified it. Based on classification, we have discussed about reciprocating air compressor, centrifugal air compressor, vent type and lobe type air compressor. Of course, we have also discussed on multi-stage reciprocating air compressor too. So this is very much useful lecture for the first year degree engineering student, which are coming and who especially have the subject basic of mechanical engineering. If you are finding any difficulty in order to have the clarity and fundamental of any kind of compressor, let me inform we have a solution. Thank you very much for your kind of patience for the attendance of this entire video lecture. Thank you very much.